this total hovel, and we're long overdue for a bit of an upgrade. I started off by removing everything from the house, just so I could really get in and get a clear idea of what I wanted to do. So I removed every piece of furniture, everything off the walls, and that way I was starting off with somewhat of a clean slate. Yeah, this was way overdue. This house has been really hard to play in, especially as we got more children. There was just no room for all the beds that we needed. So it's about time, and I was pretty excited to get in and do it. I knew right from the start that I wanted to keep the children's room pretty much in the same spot, but I wasn't quite sure on how I wanted the layout to be. Right now I was trying to work out what layout I wanted. I knew I finally wanted to have a separate bathroom that you didn't have to go through one of the bedrooms to get into. I knew that I wanted a bigger bedroom for the children, but only one extra bedroom at this stage. I wasn't too fussed about having more than 2 bedrooms in this house. So right now I was working out how I wanted to lay it out, and I ended up deciding to go with a little hallway off that door and then have the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom come off that hallway just right there. And I think it worked out really well. So it took me a few adjustments to work out the exact placement, but the layout stays very similar to what it is now. I'm just doing a lot of camera spinning by the looks of it, but I decided to update all the carpet and the walls as well, because I figured I had enough money to upgrade it all, and I figure if you're doing a massive overhaul like this, you would update the carpet and the walls. So I was using the carpet and the floors from City Living, the one that's like really grungy and dirty and yuck looking, and I love it now. It's just so bright and pretty and pastel-y. I went for blues and pinks because I like that look. To me, it's very much Aubrey style in the pastels. It's very kid friendly as well, I think, anyway. So I had to go back and remove that tree because it was getting in my view and annoying me. And then I'm just fixing up the flower garden in the front just to make it all seamless and look like it's always been like that. Didn't want any like harsh transitions or anything. I realised I didn't actually have the ley line trait on this lot, which means I was actually hindering my chances of having multiple births, which is something that's fairly important in the 100 baby challenge, because you want to have as many babies in as few generations as possible. So obviously the more twins you have, or triplets even, the sooner you're gonna get to that 100 baby amount. What was really funny about the roofing was I actually did a quick upgrade at the start, near the start when she first had her first baby, and I never fixed the roof. So this whole time I've been playing, and the back room didn't actually have a proper roof on it. So I made sure I did that correctly this time. And then I'm just adjusting the windows, trying to work out what I wanted to do. I did end up extending out that wall by 1 tile, so the kitchen becomes 1 tile longer, which gave me room for the kitchen sink. And then I'm just working out the window placement again. I like lots of windows, let lots of light in. Of course you have to add the back door back in, because you can't not have a back door. They've got their nice veggie garden / fruit trees out the back. Because we do have the Simple Living, I think it's called, trait on this lot. So she has to grow all her own food or do a grocery shop in order to cook. It's funny, we've got, I think it's Mateo hanging out in the house while we do the reno. Yeah, so at this point in the 100 baby challenge, she's got 1 child, 2 toddlers and a baby. We're coming along quite nicely, I think, and I believe she's also pregnant with 1 baby. Could be 2, I'm not sure, I can't remember. And I end up going for a smaller bathroom so I can make the kids' bedroom bigger. And I was originally gonna put in a baby room in the child's room, but I decided I didn't want to actually cut into the space in that bedroom. I wanted to leave as much space as possible for the children and for the toddlers' skill building items. So I end up making the bathroom smaller. I add a bathtub so that we can bath our toddlers, because poor Peter, our first baby, never had a bath. He did build up his skills pretty quickly though, because we were in a tiny home, so his skills were at 3s before I knew it, not long at all. And now I'm just trying to work out where I want to place the baby. And the problem with having a baby in the kids' room is the toddlers will keep getting woken up by the baby crying, and that gets really, really annoying because you want your toddlers to sleep. They can get lots of skill building time in. Yeah, I ended up not liking the baby there in the end, and where the easel is, I end up building a baby room room there in Aubrey's room, but I make sure I wall it off so that Aubrey can also get some sleep and not be woken up constantly. And then of course you gotta go for cute little curtains. I end up changing the beds, I think. Yeah, and this is where I experiment with putting a baby room in there. I didn't like where that wall was. I don't like walls cutting into windows, and I didn't want to move the window. And when I did that with the wall, it left me with that weird one tile spot in the corner of the bedroom, which I was like, what am I going to do with that? It didn't really suit, and it was also going to leave me with not enough room for the beds. So I scrapped that idea and put it in here. And at first I'm just trying to work out the placement because the bed isn't going to fit properly that way. And also this baby room is really small, so we probably will have to expand it probably after we build an indoor photo studio. In case she has triplets, there's not enough room in that room for triplets, and it's also pretty bland for a nursery. I picture it's like a wardrobe, and she'll probably convert it to a wardrobe when she has a proper baby room. If we're still in this house at that point, this lot is quite small, and I picked this lot because it was in the New World from the wedding pack, and I'd only just got the wedding pack, and I wanted to play in it. And it's a really pretty lot too. It's surrounded by water, and it's close to the town centre, and I just wanted to play in this lot. She'll probably outgrow this lot pretty quickly because the lot is so small. But I kind of think it's fun to move to different lots, but it's also fun to stay with one and keep adding on and building and changing it over time. So I'm not really sure what we'll end up doing, but we have time to work that out. I guess once it gets to the point where I'm getting frustrated with the level of space, that's a sign to maybe move on. I also think that maybe as her career develops, she might want to go to the city or something like that, just to be close to job opportunities potentially, and be closer to more like prominent models and fashion subjects and stuff. I guess only time will tell, and you'll have to watch the 100 Baby Challenge to find out what I end up deciding in the end. Little plug there. So currently I'm working out the bunk bed situation. I decided to only put one child's bed in at this stage because that's all we needed. I know that it'll change pretty quickly and we'll need 3 beds soon, but I was like, I still have time to make some more money and maybe add another bedroom onto this house, although I'm not sure, but I wanted to conserve as much money as possible because I really want to build an indoor studio for Aubrey. It could be that potentially we end up adding on an upstairs maybe, I'm not sure. I did end up figuring out that these custom content beds actually stop the bunk bed from working as it should be, so I do end up having to go and change it when I go to play, but that was no big deal. Like I just changed it to an official game bed and we were good to go. That's fine. And then I'm just putting the cushions back in. Those cushions have been in right from the start, so I put them back in. They're a nice little area for toddlers to sit on and eat whatever food they're eating, or kids to do their homework. And of course the Wabbit tablet has to go in on the carpet so the toddlers can do the very important skill building. Some nice grey wooden floorboards I think look perfect and go so well with the pink walls. I went for the grey floorboards. And then a nice white dining table. I was going to keep the mismatched chairs for a little bit longer, like she'd run out of money on her budget. But I really loved the idea of having a nice dining area. So I changed it to white, and I think again it complements the greys and the pinks. And then that pink rug just complemented the colours perfect. So I put the pink rug down. Then I was trying to work out what I wanted to do with the lounge room, and I know that I'm going to have a big wall of these pictures here. And so I just did a little bit of adjusting, and I bought the next frame so that I wouldn't forget, and also while I have the money, because they're 500 simoleons a pop. I haven't put any photos in those digital frames yet, and I should really get around to doing it. Maybe I could have one for the children and one for the baby daddies or something like that, but I do give the living area a nice makeover. So I put a nice rug down and I had another lounge, and so now because we have a bigger family and it's only going to keep growing, I was like, we need a couple lounges so the kids have somewhere to sit and maybe watch telly. And then I wasn't quite happy with the placement, so I play around with it for a bit, up and down, and adjusting things and moving them around. And was actually really satisfied with the end result either, but again, it's something that I might change over time. I wasn't too fussed because the main thing that I wanted to get done was the kids' room. And then I couldn't work out what colour to have the rug or the pot plant. It was back and forth and I wasn't quite happy, so I went back and forth a few times. I decided to just go all out and do nice kitchen cabinets and give the kitchen a proper makeover, because I figured now she has an older child, she might like to do some cooking with said child, and I went for these kitchen cabinets, which I don't normally actually ever use, but I think the colour was perfect and looks so good against the grey walls, the grey floors and the big walls. I decided to go for them for something different, and I put the island back in as well. I love an island kitchen, so I kept that in there, and the laptop of course goes back on the desk because it's very important for the children to use to build skills, of course, and for her to use for her job. And then I put the sink on the island because I love the thought of her maybe washing dishes while her children do homework, and she can chat to them while she does dishes, prepares dinner, and they're doing their homework. So it's like really family orientated. And then I've just played around with the fridge colours for a while, and I think I end up going with cream. I was going to go for like a pop of colour in there, but I decided it was going to be a bit too much. And then I'm back to putting all the photos on the wall and all the birth certificates. So we've got a wall in the living area / dining that is dedicated for our ultrasounds, our birth certificates, and our baby daddy photos. Yeah, and this is just about brought us to the end of this speed build. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next 100 baby challenge, but whispered.